Very good afternoon.
Participants who are joining today's session. So today's session will be leading by Gurpreet ma'am. So just a small information before Gurpreet ma'am's introduction. So this after the session will get complete. Everyone will get one feedback link on their emails. I request everyone, once you complete the session, please do fill the feedback form, because after filling the feedback form, you will get your certification. So, as said by me, the session will be leading by Gurpreet ma'am. So, Gurpreet ma'am is a founder and director of Edu Infinity. She is a Google certified innovator and a champion too. Over to you, Gurpreet ma'am.
Great. Thank you so much for that quick introduction and a very warm welcome to everyone who's joining in the session today. It's a pleasure to meet all of you, and I hope you're excited for the session now that we are going to start. Very quickly, give me a thumbs up in the chat window if you're ready to dive into the session. And before that, also let me know what are you expecting from the session. Let's quickly hear it in the chat window as to what are you looking for in the session today. And I will be monitoring the chat window to just see what people are saying. Thumbs up, lots of thumbs up. Okay, to know about education, wonderful. To learn something new, very good. That's a very good, interesting perspective, I would say. Great. Anything else? Any specific? How to know about discipline? Okay. Use of Gemini in education, wonderful. To make our class interactive, very good. Yes, we are going to deep dive in all these things. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for that engagement and giving me quick, responses in the chat window. So let's now begin with the session. I hope you're able to see and hear me clearly. And I'm going to shortly share my screen as well. So again, just let me know once you see the screen, which should now, yes. And I will put it in the slideshow mode so that it's clear for everyone. Great. So let's begin. Very good afternoon once again, evening, afternoon, whatever you want to call it. For me, it's a great evening. I've just finished one session and walked into the next one. So great. The last message is learn something new and interesting and then applying that in the class. Wonderful. That's amazing. So on that note, let's begin. And my quick question to everyone. When was the term artificial intelligence first introduced? You have three options: 2022, 1995, or 1956. What do you think is the correct answer to this? When was the term artificial intelligence first introduced? Wonderful. A lot of people are saying 1956, somebody as well, 2002 as well. Okay, that's surprising for me. But let me tell you, the correct answer is 1956. In fact, this was the first time when Professor John McCarthy, who's also known as the father of AI, coined this term or used this term for the first time. Another question: which of these types of AI can create new types of content? Is it machine learning, large language model, or generative AI? Come on, let's hear the answer for the next question now. Which of these types of AI can create new types of content? Is it machine learning? Is it large language model, or is it generative AI? Very good, Rashmi ma'am. A round of applause for you. Very nicely. You said generative AI, first one to say that. Some of the people are also saying machine learning. Let me clarify. Generative AI is powered by large language models. Large language models are powered by machine learning. Okay. So which of these types of AI can create new type of content? The correct answer is C, which is generative AI. But at the back end, generative AI models are powered by LLMs, and LLMs are powered by machine learning. Okay, so machine learning is a broader subgroup of AI. There are different types of AI, just like we have generative AI, we have prescriptive AI, just like we have machine learning, we have deep learning, and so on and so forth. Okay, so all these are different types of AI, but we will today in the session be focusing on generative AI. That's the focus of the session today. So let's begin quickly. What is AI? Let me quickly ask this question, and you can put in the answers in the chat window. How do you think a human becomes intelligent? How do you think that humans become intelligent? We don't have, when we are born as kids, we do not have intelligence. So then, how does a human become intelligent? By doing very good through past learning experiences. Very well said, Chitra ma'am. And you're very right. It's mostly because of learning and doing, right? The experiences that we get, that we become intelligent. So my next question is, how does a machine become intelligent? Machine cannot, do. Machine cannot probably experience. So then, how does a machine become intelligent? Artificial intelligence is very quickly working. Yes, it is. How do they learn? That's my question. By training. Very good. Who was the first one to give that answer? Aruna ma'am. Great, Aruna ma'am. So we will train the machines with lots of data, and that's how machines will become intelligent. So what is AI? AI is a technology that enables systems and machines to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, and these machines are trained with specialized algorithms where they learn, adapt, and continuously improve their capabilities. Okay, so that's very important for us to understand that these systems are capable of improving on their own once we have trained them. So what we call it, autonomous learning, right? So they learn, adapt, and continuously improve. And we can use AI not only for learning, reasoning, problem solving, or creating, but the focus of the session today is how can I leverage AI for creating new content? Okay, while we can do it, use it for learning and reasoning as well, and we can touch on that as well. But the focus will mainly be on creating new content, right? Let's go on. So all of you know that AI is all around us, right? Whether it is Gmail, which is using AI to filter out spam for you, whether it's Google search, which is using, analyzing algorithms and searching queries and match them to index web pages to get you the right results, whether it's maps, which is helping you optimize routes in real time, giving you the shortest path so that you can reach your destination very quickly. Even if it's Google Translate, which is using neural machine translation to convert text between different languages, right? Which uses NLP also, which is another type of AI. That's called natural language processing. Or whether it's YouTube, which is, kind of auto-generated video chapters are there, subtitles are being added, summarize, you can create summaries of it, of the videos, and you can use, again, NLP for doing all this. Also, YouTube gives you a lot of recommendations that are personalized via machine learning models. Okay, so let's say you like a certain type of genre of music, it will recommend more those kind of music for you. Similarly, Netflix, your Prime Video, or your shopping sites, or your, Blinkit, and all these use AI in the background to give you recommendations or promote their products, right? So that's the power of AI. It's all around us, and it is already here. You can also use AI in photos, Google Photos now, right? You can always recognize that who are the people standing in the photograph. Or you can also say, you can create memories. You can, help you revisit forgotten memories, right? And then if you are a Pixel user like me, you can make and receive clearer calls with Pixel Call Assist powered by Google AI. Okay, so calling on Pixel, photos, identifying yourself or maybe your loved ones, or creating memories. All of this happens with AI in the background. Now, first thing first, we want to talk about how do we, use AI safely and responsibly, because that's one of the prime factors that as teachers we should be promoting. So Google has laid down some AI principles, which is strongly believes. And let me tell you, Google was in fact one of the first companies to establish AI principles as part of their commitment to developing technology responsibly. Right? This was way back in 2018. We do not, it was, I think, Google's was the first company to say that we need to make sure that AI is not misused by the majority. And that's why they laid down the AI principles, which is be socially beneficial, avoid creating or reinforcing unfair bias, be built and tested for safety, be accountable to people, incorporate privacy design principles, uphold high standards of scientific excellence, and also be made available for users that accord with these principles. Okay. The seventh principle says that all six should be used always in under all circumstances, and six major AI principles by Google. Now let's look at a few use cases which we as, K-12 teachers can leverage so that we can save our time, and we can also not only save time but also promote a lot of critical thinking, problem solving, and all these kind of things which NEP talks about. NEP says that all material that you create now should be differentiated material or more personalized for the students, right? So how can we do that is also something that we will deep dive into very quickly in the session today. So generating lesson plans, creating differentiated materials or scaffolded assessments, developing quizzes and assessments, personalized feedback for students, and also analyzing student data performance, right? At this point, when I am talking about analyzing, I also want to highlight one more very important factor, which is always remember to use your Google for Workspace education accounts if you are using any, student data, because I don't know how many of you actually have made that privacy decisions as to whether you want to share your data with Google for further training or not. Most of the people I see, even if they are from tech background, they forget to make those privacy settings. And that is why we always, when we do such seminars and webinars, we always suggest teachers, please use your Google for Workspace education accounts so that your data is absolutely secure. In your Workspace accounts, none of the data is shared with anybody else or is used for further training of models. Okay. So that is why if you're creating assessments, or if you're creating quizzes, or if you're creating question papers, your school branding, please make sure that you're using your GFA accounts and not your personal accounts, right? Khushbu ma'am is saying voice glitch. I think Khushbu ma'am, I'm quite clear because nobody else has complained for this. So please check your internet connection, right? Let's move forward. And that brings us to the tool of the day, which is Gemini. This tool is a very amazing tool, which is your AI assistant from Google. You can just start chatting with it, start writing, planning, learning, do more with Google AI. Now, how do you access, AI, Gemini? There are three different ways that you can start Gemini. If you are using Gemini, you can, you are using your mobile phone, you can just scan this QR code right now, start chatting with AI. Or if you're using a laptop, just go to your browser and type in gemini.google.com. And if you're using a mobile again, you can also download the Gemini app from the Play Store. Okay, whether you are on iPhone or whether you are Android phone, you can download the Gemini app and you can start using Gemini right from your phone. Now, what can you use Gemini for? As I already told you, you can empower your education community with generative AI. And Gemini app is free of charge. You can upgrade to Gemini for Workspace to get generative AI across the apps and love, which is including your Google Classroom, and along with access to Gemini Advanced, right? So if you are going in for Gemini across Workspace apps, that is a paid thing, but your Gemini app is available free of cost in all your Play stores. Even Notebook LM is available free of charge. But if you want to go in for Notebook LM Plus, then you have to go in for the Gemini for Workspace paid accounts, right? Gemini, I also want to, very quickly tell you, Gemini is available in almost 40 languages and across 230 countries. It's the most widely used, education chatbot, worldwide, right? So that's the power that we are bringing to your table today. And all of you, I'm sure, already use Gemini, but today we'll deep dive into a lot more use cases of Gemini from a teacher perspective, right? So this is your Gemini interface. Once you enter into Gemini, you get to see this type of a space where you can enter a prompt and start chatting. Now, today, first thing that I want to show you is how can you use Canvas in the Gemini app to create interactive lessons. It can be quizzes, it can be photo quizzes, it can be reports that you can then convert into different languages, or also convert that report into an infographic, into a web page, into a quiz, into a flashcard, or even an audio overview. Yeah. So that's the power of Canvas in your hands. And before we go to Gemini Deep Research, let's look at a few examples of Canvas first. And then we will actually see that also, that how I can do that. Okay, so I'm just, allow me a minute and I'm going to open my Gemini and show you a wonderful use case, because we have teachers from different categories. Here you go. I'm sure you're able to see my other tab now, which is the Gemini interface. And can I get a show of thumbs up if you're able to see my screen? Wonderful. Great. So now what you can see is I have created a simple game here and a simple prompt. And I'm going to quickly paste that in the chat window today, so that you can also practice it side by side. Okay, so I'm putting the prompt right here in the chat window, and you can see I've given this prompt to Gemini and I've kept the canvas mode on. Okay, so how do you choose the canvas mode? From the tools on the bottom, just click on canvas and give it this prompt, and look what wonderful game it has created for me. And let me play this game very quickly in front of you so that you get an idea what I am saying. So I'm saying, I'm putting in my name and I say start the adventure. And as soon as I do that, Is it better now?
Now the music have stopped. Now you're audible.
Because the game itself had some music, and that's what was causing. If you just saw, I will again start my Gemini because I had to close that down. But if you saw that how I was playing the game, it was giving me the, quickly the answers and showing me whether I'm giving the right answer or not. Let me show another one so that the sound does not bother you. And I have created another one, and I want to share that tab now. And I'm going to share my screen once again. Okay. So this is another one which is created using the same. I've just not added music there. So it is test your lateral thinking with 10 challenging picture riddles designed for sharp minds. Enter your code name. I'm just putting in my name and I start simulation. And it's asking, I have cities but no houses. I have mountains but no trees. I have water but no fish. Who am I? So of course, it's a map, right? And if I give the right answer, it will give me right, correct answer. And then I can move to the next question, right? Next question is, what is full of holes but still holds water? Obviously, sponge. Again, it's telling me correct answer and so on and so forth. So see, that's the power of Canvas, where with a simple prompt, I have created a interactive quiz and I can share this quiz with my students from here directly. I can just click on share and it will give me a publicly shareable link, which I can post to my students using whatever social media I want, or I can directly send it to them using WhatsApp as well, right? The beauty here is that you also get the code along with it. So let's say you want to, embed this particular interactive quiz in your website. You just have to copy this entire code and paste it in your website, and you will get this entire interactive quiz in your website itself. Now, remember, I have not written even one line of code here. Just a simple prompt, which is about 4 or 5 lines, and I have already shared that with you in the chat window. You can see how quickly I have been able to create an interactive quiz, right? Okay, ma'am is asking how to get a canvas. Let me start again. So click on a start fresh, right? This was who was asking. Millie ma'am, please see on the screen. I've started a new chat, and down in the tools, you just have to click on canvas. And now give the prompt here. Okay. Give the prompt that I put in the chat window and put it here with the canvas mode active. Right? I hope that clarifies your doubt. Great. Nidhi ma'am has shared something, and let's see what she has made. So I've opened that as well. And wonderful. She's created a 5-question quiz. And see, I'm displaying it right now on your screens. This has been created by Nidhi ma'am and all, shared very soon with me. That's great. That's the kind of learning we want everyone to show. That you should be able to not only utilize the learning, but also create side by side so that you can understand and take it forward. Thank you, Nidhi ma'am, for this amazing, amazing thing. Right? Let's come back and to my Gemini screen, and let me show something more that you can do with Gemini. Okay. Same in the canvas mode. Let me open this chat of mine. And this is, Delhi School 2050 research plan. Okay. So what I have done is, okay, let me show you first with canvas only. Okay. If there are some computer science teachers in the room, please see this. This will be very interesting for you. And I am going to very quickly search for AQI visualization. Here it is. And see what I've done. Using the canvas mode, I've just given a prompt and I'm going to put that prompt again in the chat window in case anybody is interested in, practicing it, because computer science teachers, I don't know how many of them are there, but those who are should be able to, utilize this. So you can see I've written, write a Python script using matplotlib to plot the of Delhi's air quality index over 5 years, include comments explaining each line of code so I can teach it to students. And it has created this wonderful code for me, and I can export it to Colab. Let me open my Colab as well and show you how it will look in Colab. And I'm going to very quickly open my Colab. So I've just created this code with Gemini, copied it and pasted it into my Colab, which you are able to see now. That's my Colab screen. It's a wonderful tool again by Google, collab.research.google.com, where you can run your real-time, Python and other language codes and see what beautiful chart it has given me of the Delhi's AQI index over last 5 years, right? So that's the part. Okay, Aarti ma'am is saying, please help again for merging with, ma'am, you don't have to do any merging. From your chat, down in the tools section, just choose Canvas. It's as simple as that. Okay, and if you want Gemini link, I am putting it in the chat window now. It's called gemini.google.com. It's very simple. Gemini.google.com, nothing else. Right? Just open that, open a new chat, and from the chat section, choose Colab. Sorry, Canvas. Like you see here, I'll show once again. So from the tool section, choose Canvas and then start doing your work or give your prompt there, right? So I've shown you code. I have shown you riddle games. Now let me show you a report. Okay, so let me go ahead and, okay, this is another one. So this is now flashcards that I have created using Canvas. Canvas mode on, and just a simple prompt, which is here. Generate a list of content for 10 flashcards on noble gases. What do you want in the front? What do you want in the back? And you can just put that in your prompt and see it has created one side, the atomic number and the name, and second side is the element name, the key property, and one real life use case, because that's what I've mentioned in my prompt. So it has created a list of 10, 10 noble gases, one side, the name, atomic name, and the element number. Next side, the key property and one real life use case. So you can create flashcards like this for your use cases for whatever subject you are teaching or for whatever grade you are teaching. Okay. Just remember, when you mention the prompt, you should very clearly mention what is the topic, what is the age grade that you're looking at, and how many questions do you want, so that it's, exactly according to your use case. Okay, I think this was not visible. Let me show it again. My screen was stuck. Yes, so we are back at the flashcards, and you can see here. Let me open the flashcards. Here you go. Let me start from the beginning. So this is what I have created. You can see on one side, it is the name of the noble gas. On the other side is the use case and the real life use case of it. Okay, the key property and the real life use case, right? And every card has a new noble gas element And when I flip, it has the use case as well as the key property. And the prompt that I use, let me show that again very quickly. So you can see the prompt now. It is generate a list of content for 10 flashcards on noble gases, front element symbol and atomic number, back element name, key property, and one real life use case. Okay, somebody is requesting, please share this prompt as well. Let me put that in the chat window. There you go. You have the prompt with you. So once you do this, it will create a, because I've said create the content. So first it has created the content, and then I said create the flashcards from that. Okay, so let me show how do you create flashcard. So it first created the content. If you want to change anything here, go ahead and change it. Okay, let's say you don't want helium, you want some other noble gas, or let's say you don't want to say filling up party balloon, you want some other use case. So you can, this is an interactive document that it has created, right? So first I told it create my content, so that once I approve, then only it should go ahead and create the flashcards. Okay, so now that it has created, on the top you can see the create button. I can now click on this and convert it into a web page or an infographic or a quiz or flashcards or audio overview. So I have done flashcards. Let's now convert it into an infographic. Okay, flashcards I've already shown you. Now I'm going to convert this into an infographic. Let's see what it does. So it's analyzing, and of course, because it's creating in real time, so it will take some time, but it will come back with a very, very interesting thing. Let's see, let's wait for the visualization to come up. In the meantime, if there are any questions, please feel free to put that. Yes, Vaibhav sir, I will right now show you in other languages as well. Give me some time. Let it just quickly create my flashcards, and I will, infographic, and I will show you the content in other languages as well. So here it is doing the infographic. It's still in the thinking mode. So let us take its time. But you see it has started working. It's creating the code for me side by side, so that I know that yes, the work is on and I don't lose patience. Once it's ready, it will show it to me in the preview mode. Okay, so anything that you create with, there it is. So anything you create with Canvas has the code view as well as the preview. The code view is useful for people who want to pick it up and, embed it in any other. See, wonderful, wonderful graphs, elemental applications of the gases and their real life, use cases. Everything has been explained here, and it has created a complete infographic for me. So how easily it has not taken more than a minute to convert that content that I gave it into an infographic. So you can try this out and you can, play around with it. Okay. Let me now show, sir was asking Hindi. So let's look at Hindi use case. Okay, here it is. So here you see, I had actually used deep research. I wanted to show it a little later, but no problem. We can go ahead. That's another feature of Gemini. So I have enabled deep research, and I said, create a report on deep learning and its real life use cases in education with Indian context in mind. This research should highlight key actions and instead can promote research. Okay, how institutes can promote research capabilities, right? It gave me the research plan. I said, go ahead. I want to end it, the plan. I told it to add the ill effects of deep learning as well. It highlighted that and then started the research. And here it made a report. Okay. Now, once this report was ready and I liked it, I went ahead and said, go ahead and now convert this into Hindi. I said, can you next create a report on deep learning in Hindi language? And this is what it has given me. Here, the same report now in Hindi, right? And believe me, I don't know so much of Hindi, so I will not even be able to read it out for you. But because it is so good with so many languages, you can do the same with Punjabi, with Marathi, with Telugu, with Tamil, with whatever language you like. And I'm sure today in the meeting, there are people who are joining us from different parts of India. So try it out in your native language, right? Once you've created this, you can still go ahead and create a web page from this, an infographic, quiz, flashcards, audio overview, whatever you like. Okay. And you can also mention here when you're giving the prompt, you can say create. If initially only you want it in a particular language, just say create the report in Hindi language or create the report in Punjabi or create the flashcards in Punjabi, right? So that's how you can get the output in whatever language you desire. I hope that point is clear. Somebody is asking, okay, Neha ma'am is asking, what is the functionality difference between Chat GPT and Gemini? Very good question. So ma'am, let me inform you, both Chat GPT and Gemini are generative AI tools. Okay. It can help you create content, but Chat GPT is not a tool focused for educators. So you will not have these models that I'm trying to tell you. Use cases like creating code, using Canvas for creating quizzes, using Canvas to create flashcards is not possible in ChatGPT. It will give you the content, it will give you the suggestion, you can make it like this, but it will not create it for you. Versus Gemini, which is I'm demonstrating it in real life, real time to you. It is doing all that for you. It is creating, not only telling you how you will do it, but it's actually creating that for you, right? So that's the power of Gemini. I hope that difference is very clear. So I feel as an educator, uh, you should focus more on educational apps. Use ChatGPT if you have to for your normal cases, but use Gemini for creating your educational content. And wonderful, I think somebody, Sangwan Rashika ma'am has shared. I'm showing it on the screen right now. She has created a wonderful infographic. Although I think there was less information, so there is not charts and all available here. But I'm sure you can do that as well, ma'am. Right? So let's come back and let's move to the other use case now, which is deep research. And with deep research, and let me first, come back to the presentation. Let's talk about deep research a bit and then move on to that topic. So deep research tool is used for doing an in-depth research and then creating reports or other form of infographic or quiz or flashcards with it, right? I've already shown you one of the use case, which was that report on the one that I just showed you, which is deep learning in Indian education. But that's not all. I will just demonstrate how else can you use deep research. Okay, let's come back to my Gemini, and I'm going to quickly take you into another use case of deep research. Okay, great. And I've already shown you deep learning. Let's pick up which one. Okay, AI research prompts. Okay, let's do this. Or rather, let's create a new one right now. So I have started a new chat, and from the tools, I am enabling deep research. Okay, and I am saying uh, conduct a research on the topic Anybody, if you have any choice, put the topic in the chat window and I'll pick that up. Yes, Jitendra sir, we'll come to that as well. How can we create PPT? We'll come to that. Global warming, Arduino. Okay, let's pick Arduino. I think that's an interesting one. So conduct a research on the topic of Arduino in STEM learning for middle school students of CBSE school, right? And let's give it a twist. The research should focus on NEP compliance and STEM education in Indian scenario. Okay. So I've said conduct a research on the topic Arduino in STEM learning for middle school students of CBSE school. The research should focus on NEP compliance in STEM education in Indian scenario. And look at here, if you have some files of your own that you want to use the deep research on, you can include those sources as well. This can be a Google search, this can be a Gmail chain that you have, it can be files on your drive, or it can be some chats that you are having with your colleagues. You can also add files from your device, okay? So that's also possible. But for now, I'm just giving this prompt and hitting enter. And look at the beauty here now. What it will do is, it will first give you a plan and ask you, are you okay with that plan? If you say yes, start research, then only it will start. See, it's telling you, I will research these sites, National Education Policy Guidelines, investigate role of Arduino, identify how CBSE has integrated skill subject, and so on and so forth, right? I will say edit plan. And I also want to add tools that I can use for promoting Arduino programming in my schools. Okay. So I've said also add tools that I can use for promoting Arduino programming in my school. So now it will go back, it will edit its plan, it will give me that plan again, and then it will again ask, can I start search now? So here it has updated the plan, and you can see it has synthesized finding to recommend strategies for promoting Arduino programming aligned with Digital India, right? So it's added that. It's also added research digital tools and simulators like Tinkercad, WalkMe, MemBlock, because I have actually gone ahead and told them to add that. Now I can say, yes, I like it, start research. And now it will start that research. Okay. Once it completes, you need not stay in this window. Once it completes the research, because it's deep research, it will take some time. And you can see it will start showing you step by step what it is doing. You will be able to see that, but it will take some time for it to complete that research. Okay. So in the meantime, let's utilize the time. And what we'll do is we'll go to the next topic. And once the report is ready, it will give me that notification and I will come back to it. So let's go back to our presentation in the meantime, and let's learn prompting on Gemini. So for your prompt to be a good prompt, you should always use the parts framework. Okay. What does the parts framework say? It has a persona. Your task should be clear. Your format, the output that you want, how do you want it? You should have some sample examples and you should give some context. Okay, that's what a high quality prompt is made up of. So let's look at some prompts from scratch. A prompt like create a lesson plan for class 7, chapter light. Now you've mentioned the age group, you've mentioned the topic, and you've mentioned the task very clearly, that you want a lesson plan on chapter light. But what about persona? You have not given it the persona that act as a science teacher who teaches science to grade 7 of a class of, let's say, 35 students or 50 students or first generation learners, or a metro city, whatever. That is a persona, right? So parts framework says your prompt should have a persona, should have an aim, which is the task, should have a recipient, that is who is the audience. It should have a theme, that means what is the style and tone of the a report that you are looking at. And finally, it should have a structure, that means how do you want the output. When you take care of all these things, then your prompts become better. And that's what we are talking about, right? And let's look at an initial prompt and how do I convert it into a high quality prompt. So initial prompt is create a lesson plan for class 7 chapter light. A revised prompt can be, I am a science teacher, create a lesson plan for class 7 science for a class of 35 students. But the best high quality prompt according to the parts framework is, as a science teacher for a 7th grade class of 35 students with diverse learning abilities, I need to develop a comprehensive lesson plan. This plan should feature a variety of engaging in-class activities, incorporate educational videos, and conclude with a MCQ quiz to effectively assess student comprehension. That's a good prompt, right? So always build prompts as you go. Give a prompt, check it out, what result it gives, and then keep on adding more context, right? Always, it's very good to add things like explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old, or create a plan with the top 5 areas, or give me pros and cons in a bulleted list, or give the lesson plan in the form of a tabular format, transform the key points of X into a story or narrative, use a tone which is storied like, or if we are, designing a report for the seniors, we should always say, create a report in a professional tone, which is suitable for my principal. When I'm saying create a quiz, so you should always mention more context on my understanding or for the students, kiske liye create karna hai, right? So all these are very important aspects when you are prompting. So we have already given enough prompts on in your chat windows, but let's try a few more which are right here in front of you. Here's one for science. As a teacher of class 9, I want an inquiry-based lesson plan, hands-on experiments, scientific debate, ethical dilemma, role-play ideas, and authentic assessment methods for the lesson water cycle. Share few YouTube links for reference. Generate these for me, right? This is a good prompt, right? I'll take a minute. You can take a screenshot of this if you want right now, and then we can go back, and I think my report is also ready. So we'll move to that as well. Let's also look at one more prompt for social studies. As a teacher, I want a lesson plan, interactive activities, historical simulation, mock trial, role play ideas, and authentic assessment methods for the lesson, The Causes of World War I. Additionally, provide suitable chapter names for this topic within a social studies curriculum, aligning with NEP for a class 7 of 30 students. Generate these for me, right? Similarly, you can say for mathematics, as a teacher of class 7, I want a lesson plan in interactive activities, real-world application scenarios, diverse assessment, MCQ with answer for the lesson, understanding fractions. I can also show you I created a fraction drag and drop activity. I'll just show you that. I just, as soon as mathematics came in front of me, I remembered that. Similarly, for English, I can say as a teacher, I want a lesson plan, dynamic reading, writing activities, literary role play, dramatic interpretation, for the lesson analyzing figurative language. Also suggest relevant chapter names for this topic within an English curriculum, keeping NEP guidelines for a class 7 of 30 students. Right? Now, all these are different good prompts because they're giving appropriate context for the Gemini to understand what you are trying to create and for whom. Right? Let's come back to my Gemini. And here you can see my report is ready in the meantime that I had said, right? We had asked for promoting Arduino in Indian schools, and my report is right ready here. And you can see what a beautiful report it has created, right? And it has actually gone ahead and given to me in a tabular format. How, at what stage of education, what can be my curricular focus, and what is the role of STEM or Arduino there? I can directly export it to sheets also from here, right? And let's see. STEM education in the Indian scenario, rise of the maker culture, and see, Atal Tinkering Labs, Samagra Shiksha, Rashtriya Vishkar Abhiyan, Diksha. It has actually mapped it to the Indian context because I specifically mentioned it to do that, right? And Arduino as a pedagogical bridge from abstract logic to physical reality. So it's given me that as well. Now, because it's such a long report and maybe I don't have time for this, let's create an audio overview from this, right? And see what it does for us. So I've got a beautiful report here, but I don't want to spend time reading it right now. So what I've told it is create an audio overview from this. And of course, again, it will take some time to generate that audio overview. So let's come back to my, presentation and look at a good prompt for Hindi. As a teacher, I want a comprehensive Hindi lesson plan in Hindi, interactive language activities, conversational role play, and whatever you want to, mention, topic, whatever you want to say, just keep it ready. Also suggest relevant chapter names and whatever you want to say, right? The whole idea is the more context you give it, the better your output will be, right? The moment you are giving it good prompts, you are getting good results. That's the quality that you have to keep in mind, right? Any questions from whatever we have been talking till now? Any questions from what we have covered? Loved this audio feature? Yes, Pooja ma'am. Wait, there's more to it. I'm coming with more. Great. So in the meantime, let's look at if my audio overview is ready. No, it has not given me a prompt till now, so I'm sure it is still doing that. If there are any questions, I'm happy to take that questions also side by side, right? So please keep posting your questions, keep them coming, and I'm monitoring the chat window. Okay, worksheet generated, Gemini pictures is not there. Achla ma'am, you have to specifically mention if you want. Okay, so let's say you're generating a worksheet and you want picture-based questions in that. Always mention that in your instructions, in your prompt. Say, create a worksheet for grade 6 science subject on whatever topic. Include 5 MCQs, 5 true false, 2 picture-based questions, 2 short answer questions, 2 long answer questions. Give it the complete format that you want. Okay. Once you do that, it will create a worksheet exactly like you want. Okay. What happens is we don't give the proper context and then we say, oh, yaar, isne nahi bana ke diya. So please be very mindful of the fact, I'm repeating it again. The better context you give, the better output you get. The lesser context you give, the lower output you get. Okay. So be as specific as you want. Don't hesitate in writing a big prompt. And if you are, a lazy person and you don't like typing, just use the Gemini voice typing feature, right? And you can just say and it will start typing. So that's very, very, very easy, right? So please do that. Okay. Anjali ma'am is saying, can we creative worksheets in the form of, yes, ma'am, you can. You can very well. I will just show you. Let it create the audio overview, which it has, and I'm going to share that now with all of you. Give me a second. And I hope my screen is visible so you can see the audio overview is ready. And I'm going to play that now. Just listen to it.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at a really foundational shift happening in Indian education.
It's massive. We're talking about the country's largest school board, CBSE, and millions of middle school students.
And our sources show this radical move away from, rote memorization in classes 6 through 8. So let's unpack this. The mission for our deep dives is to understand how the National Education Policy, or NEP 2020, is using Arduino as...
See, it has converted that entire report into an audio overview so that I can hear it on the go. Let's say I'm driving and I don't have the time to read it. I can just listen to the podcast. It's like a podcast where two people are talking and the concept is being explained. That's the beauty of these audio overviews, right? Let's now quickly show you one more task. Somebody said that they want to see something in maths. So here you go. No, not this one. Okay, let's look at, let's look at this. Okay. Now I'm going to show another wonderful feature to you, which is the guided learning feature. Okay. What does this help you do? It helps your students create personalized learning pathways for them. For you as a teacher, let's say you are researching on some new topic and you want to understand it in absolutely simple language, you can use this for yourself as well. So what I've done is I've just enabled guided learning and I gave a prompt, teach me the concept of waves and oscillations as if I'm a grade 6 student. Please note that I'm a first generation learner, so keep the language simple. Also, I'm a visual learner, so include visualizations for better understanding. And I'm quickly putting this in the chat window so that you can use the same prompt. Just change the topic, change the grade if you like for your use case, and just try it out and see how beautifully it has created a personalized learning plan for me. And it has explained the concept of not only oscillations, also waves, right? And then what it does is it explains something to you and then it will ask you a question. Like it said, based on this, what do you think is the medium for a wave traveling down a guitar string? Now I gave it a wrong answer. I said air. Okay. Now, remember these tools, Gemini and all other AI tools, are made to always respond back to you in a positive tone. So they will never say wrong answer. What did it say? That's a very good observation. You're absolutely right that air is the medium for the sound wave that travels from the guitar and to your ear. However, let's focus just on the first part of the journey, which is the wave traveling down the guitar string right after it is plucked. Okay. So when you plug this, so it went on and explained me, and then it gave me another, visual, because I've said that I'm a visual learner. So it gave me another visual to make me understand that. Then it asked me a question. I gave the right answer. Then it went on to the next concept, 2 ways waves can move. And then it asked me, okay, what is the first, which of these is the one which is being used here? I said type 1, and it said, you're absolutely right. So that's how guided learning helps you understand a topic in a conversational tone. It will go ahead, explain something, ask you a question. You answer correctly, it will move ahead. You answer wrongly, it will again explain. And you can give prompts like, you can say that I'm a visual learner, or I am an oral learner, or I love to learn with videos. So suggest some YouTube videos for me that I can watch to understand this concept, right? So that's guided learning for you. So we have touched upon Canvas, we have touched upon deep research, we have also touched upon guided learning. Let's do one wonderful thing more, and that is I'm going to start a new chat and I'm going to enable the create images. Okay. And now for this, I'm going to make my imagination go wild, right? I'm going to give a prompt here. Create a photorealistic image of an Indian educator. In the backdrop, include a modern school in a smart city with vertical gardens and the label as Education 2.0. Show students in the foreground playing with holograms and tablets. Keep the lighting warm and peppy. Okay, let's do that. Let's see what does it create for me. I said create a photorealistic image of an Indian educator in the backdrop. Include a modern school in a smart city with vertical gardens and the label as Education 2.0. Show students in the foreground playing with holograms and tablets. Keep the lighting warm and peppy. Let's see what it has created for us. Ready? I'm going to show you the image. See. Wow. Look at the image. Simple prompt and how effective image has come up. Now there's no need for look for images on Google or any other search engine for what you want to display. Create your own images. If you're a science teacher, say, create a cross section of heart, labeling this part of the heart. If you're a physics teacher, say, create a visualization demonstrating the concept of waves and oscillations. If you're a, let's say, chemistry teacher, create a simulation of, let's say, when I mix two components, what does happen, right? Anything that you want, play around with it and get your imagination run wild. And believe me, the students will also love these settings. They will also love the way you will be experimenting. They will really, really appreciate it a lot, right? So we have done all 4 parts of the tools, which is deep research, create images, canvas, and guided learning. And with that, we come to the next part of the seminar. And now we are going to move into very quickly the next part, which is here. Let's go. Okay. So remember, AI is never going to replace your expertise or your knowledge or your creativity of an educator. A lot of time people ask me, AI is going to replace me. No, AI is not able to replace. It does not have the capability to replace you because you bring your own expertise, your own knowledge, or your own creativity to the table. But remember, it can always help you enhance and enrich that experience that you have. It can make you more creative. Like I gave you the example just now with the image, right? Let your imagination run wild. And also remember that maybe AI cannot replace you, but a person who's using AI can definitely replace you. Let's say Supreet ma'am has just said, will it be helpful for math subject? Yes, Supreet ma'am, I'll show you an example just now. Just hang on. I will show you right away. So let's say Supreet ma'am brings 20 years of experience to the table, very creative, very knowledgeable, very willing to learn new things, but she doesn't want to experiment with AI. Versus Aarti ma'am, who also brings 20 years of educational experience, is very, creative, very knowledgeable, and she's ready to play with AI. Now, Aarti ma'am can replace Supreet ma'am. Just an example. No offense, Supreet ma'am. No going high, Aarti ma'am. It's just for an example, right? So people who are using AI will definitely replace people who are not ready to learn that skill. So that is why these kind of webinars, thankful to, Star and Google for Education, who are bringing these webinars to you. So these kind of webinars are actually very, very, very important for us, right? I see Anshul Jain ma'am has raised her hand. Ma'am, it will be great if you can put your question in the chat window. I am, monitoring the chat window very closely, okay? Because I think unmuting somebody and then breaking the flow of the session will not be possible. It will be great if you can just put your question in the chat window and I'll take care of that. Great. Now let's, because I've promised ma'am to show a mathematical use case. So let me quickly look at something that I have from mathematics as well. And let me just quickly look for quadratic equation. I remember I had created something. Quadratic equations. Okay. Okay, I'm going to share my tab now. I have this ready. So I think ma'am had asked for a use case of maths. Here you go, ma'am. I've just given a simple prompt. I said quadratic equations for final year mathematics students. And this is a gem that I've created. Okay. What are gems? Gems are your own custom AI agents, where this particular gem that I've created is for creating stories for the topic that I give. So I've given the topic quadratic equations for final year mathematics student, and see how beautifully it has created a story. The parabola of the peculiar pastry. The mathematical dilemma, the equation. It has explained the concept of the discriminant. The quirky twist it has added. And then in the last, it has given a moral value as well. In mathematics, as in life, every up has a corresponding down, and every complex problem has a root waiting to be found. But remember, your discriminant determines your reality. If you approach life with a negative mindset, you'll never reach the heights you're aiming for. So here you go. And now you can, start chatting with it. You can ask, it's asking, do you want me to create a set of inquiry-based questions based on the story to align with NEP's assignment? Go ahead, say yes, and it will do the task for you, right? I hope, ma'am, that was useful for you. Whoever had requested for, I don't remember, Supreet ma'am, I think, had requested. So I hope you've got your answer. Great. Can we get lab experiments? Yes, Rahina ma'am, you can create your own customized gems for creating simulations as well. I've created a lot for computer science subject because that's my main subject. So there is a concept of stacks and queues, which is very difficult for students to understand. So I've created a visualization for that. So you can go ahead and play around and, you will get wonderful, wonderful results to it. Okay. With that, let's move to, and I will show you, okay, I'll show you one more quickly, a feature, and I hope my screen is visible. Wonderful. So I'm in my Gemini interface, and there's something called gems. The gems are the AI assistants that you can create for your use cases. For example, there are certain gems that are pre-built, okay, and you can start using it, like your recipe writer or your blog post writer, and so on and so forth. There are gems that Google has created for you, in which you should definitely, try out the storybook. And I'll show you 1 or 2 storybooks that I've created with it, which are interesting. And then there is your own gems that you can create. You can see I have so many gems, from which my 3 favorite are UDL Activity Remix Coach, Adaptive PD Architect, and Adaptive Scaffold Coach. What it does is, what does this one do? When I give it any learning objective, it will create 3 types of tasks for me. One for the supported category, which is the slow learners. One for the average student, which in my case is called the core category. And then one for the high learners or fast learners, which is called the extension category in my case. Let me show you one example very quickly. So I gave it this simple prompt. And I said, create 3 progressive tasks for the LO. Explain how the greenhouse effect contributes to local climate change, and give 2 examples of human activities that intensify it. The grade is 8 and includes scaffold steps and 1 formative check per level. See how beautifully it has given me for supported, which is a slow learner, a student-facing task, and a scaffold. Then core, student-facing task, scaffold. And similarly for the extension. So with one single prompt, I have created 3 differentiated tasks, rather 6 tasks, 2 for each category. And let me quickly show you the prompt that I've given here for creating this. So how do you create your own gems? You just have to click on new gem, and you have to give your gem a name, and instructions go here. These 2 are mandatory part. Your knowledge and your description is optional, whether you give it or not. Okay, so that's how you create your own gem. So I've created this one, and I will quickly show you what I have put in here. I've named it Adaptive Scaffold Coach, and you look at the prompt. Of course, it's a big one, but let me just give you a gist of it, and I will quickly scroll through this. So you are an adaptive scaffold coach and instructional design assistant focused on classroom differentiation. When given a learning objective and optional context, create 3 levels: supported for learners needing scaffolds, core, which are on grade, that is their average students, and extension, which are deeper challenging students. Right? Label them clearly. And for each level, provide 1 student-facing task and 1 scaffold. Right? That's the prompt that I've given, and you have seen the output, how beautifully it has created that. Let me also quickly show you a pre-built gem that you can use, which is the storybook one. Again, one of my favorites. Just give it a topic and it will create a storybook for you. Let me quickly pick up a storybook from here itself and show that to you. Let me pick up something useful for you people. Okay. Okay, here. So this is a story. My 7-year-old doesn't want to sleep over at their grandma's house. Create a storybook to help them cope. And see how beautifully it has created a storybook for this use case. Very difficult, to think of a story like that, but it has created with wonderful illustrations. And my name goes there by Gurpreet Kaur. And look at this. This is a flip book that the child can, read, or you can also listen to it in the audio mode. Let me play that for you very quickly.
First, we need to create fuel for fun, Grandma Lyra winked. Every great sleepover starts with moonbeam biscuits. Alara forgot her nervous, fluttery feeling. Baking was their favorite thing to do together. They mixed the flour and sugar, kneading the dough until it was soft and smooth.
That's not all.
Alara,
you can also download this and use it as a PDF. So if you want your students to read it as a flip book, share it directly from here. Get the shareable link and share it with them. like this, they will be able to use it in the audio mode as well as in the flipbook mode. But if you want to share it as a PDF, download it and share it as just as a simple PDF where there will be text and the photographs and the text, right? So that's the power of Gemini Gems for you. Let's hear it in the chat window. Do you like this? Amazing, amazing, amazing. Very good. Millie ma'am says we can't work on audio mode. Ma'am, you can create stories in Hindi as well. Just say that to it when you're giving the prompt that create a story in Hindi and it will do that for you. Okay, so try that out. Over the past few days, I've been doing a lot of sessions on Gemini. So a lot of teachers have created books in Punjabi, in Hindi, in Marathi, in Tamil, Telugu, Bengali, so many languages. Okay, so please, kind of go ahead and explore. So somebody is saying repeat. I'll quickly repeat that once. You just have to go to your Gemini and on the top you have gems. Okay, click on gems, and when you click on gems, you will on the top get gems by Google, pre-made by Google. In that, this is the book that storybook creator that I used, and give your prompt here, whatever you want. Okay, like I've tried this one as well, Claymation Art Style, create a storybook about friendly bees. I have that also created here, right here. If it is on the top, let me quickly show you. Yes, here it is. This is the same prompt that I've used, and see how beautifully it has created a story about bees. Okay, how bees help us so that children are not scared of them, right? And look at the wonderful visuals. Look at the bright visuals. Anybody would like to use it. Anybody, right? So that's the power. Let's move to the next. We have just 10 minutes more. Let's quickly move to the next topic of the day, and that is Notebook LM. Give me a second, and I'm going to open my Notebook LM, and then I'll share the tab. Now, why would you use Notebook LM? Okay, Gemini you use when you want to do research from anywhere on the internet, and be aware that it can also have hallucinations as well. What is an hallucination? A hallucination is a mistake made by AI. Okay, that's why we always say, whenever you create with AI, always go ahead and check, fact check, right? So always you should be able to make, yes, Triveni ma'am, that's what we are moving to now, how we can make PPT, okay? So always do fact check. But when you want your research or your content creation to be from the grounded research, okay? What I mean by grounded research is only from the content that you give it. Let's say you upload the NCF SE policy and you upload a few papers of yours, and you say, okay, create a paper from this for grade 6, whatever subject you want. And then you say, align it to NCF SE. And it will create a paper for you. But now you are very sure that this content that it has created is grounded from the content that you picked, right? So you are very, very clear that it is not going to pick up any content from internet. It will only create the questions from the book that you have uploaded or the policy that you have uploaded, right? That's the power of Notebook LM. So let's look at what I can do with LM. Somebody was saying again and again, PPT, PPT. So here you go. So I'm going to show you very quickly one. So here I've uploaded the NCF SE, which is a 600 plus page document, and also the training manual of CBSE on NCF SE. And I said, create a mind map for me explaining the training manual. Okay, it is divided into 4 sessions. What do those 4 sessions do for me? And see how beautifully it has given me a mind map. And you can see that I can expand this session by session. What is being covered? What are the aims of school education? What are the learning achievement framework? what is learning standards and structure, what is the state specific recommendations. Everything is available here. And in a matter of seconds. Okay, so there are 3 sections of your notebook LM. The left section is where you upload your sources. So you can add sources. These sources can be files which are there on your device. It can be website links. It can be YouTube video links. It can be files residing on your drive. It can be text, simple text that you've copied from somewhere else and pasted it here. If you don't have anything, you can tell your fast research to go and look for your sources also. So you can discover sources as well. So whatever you like to do that. Bring your documents here, and then the middle section allows you to chat with it. It's giving you a summary of what you have uploaded, what it talks about, and then you can chat. What does NCF say about technology in education? Give 5 main points as a bulleted list. While it gives this, let me explain the studio section for you. You have audio overview, the one that I created just now, similar kind. You have video overview, mind maps I've shown you, reports you can create, flashcards you can create, quiz you can create, infographic and slide deck. If you see here, I have NCF flashcards as well. Let me open that for you so that you can see that. And let me also expand this screen so that you can see it full screen. So see here, just like a flashcard, question on one side, answer on the other side. Go to the next flashcard and it's created 70 flashcards from this content for me. And I can go ahead and download it and use it for a quiz with my co-teachers or whatever, right? So you can create any of these content and see it has given me the 5 main points about what NCF says about technology integration as a core feature. And it's also telling you where it is picking up from. What are the citations? So you can go ahead and check, make sure that yes, it is talking about this document itself, right? So it's given me 5 bulleted list points about technology in education. So middle section, you chat. Right section, you create content, new content that you want. Audio overview, video overview. Let me show you video overview. That comes out beautifully. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to show you the video overview now. Let's play this.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about one of the most powerful forces shaping, well, everything, technology convergence. So let's just jump right in with a question that's changing our future. For the longest time, different fields of science kind of stuck to themselves. You know, biology did its thing, engineering did its thing, computer science was...
Look at the amazing visuals it has created, right? It's talking about all the concept in a visual way, and look at the amazing visuals. And this was created in a matter of a few minutes, right? Let me also show you very quickly an audio overview. Sorry, I think that got closed. Yes, here we are. Let me also show, and this is, I've created 3 audio visuals, which you can see out here on my screen. You can see there are 3 audio overviews, one of which is in Hindi, while the other 2 are in English. So I'm going to play the Hindi one right now. And here you go.
हो जाता है, जिससे शरीर के अंगों का कंट्रोल चला जाता है।
तो ये डिवाइस उस डैमेज हुए हिस्से को ठीक करता है?
ठीक नहीं करता, बल्कि उसे बाईपास करने में मदद करता है।
अच्छा, बाईपास।
ये डिवाइस दिमाग के स्वस्थ हिस्सों को बहुत हल्के इलेक्ट्रिक सिग्नल से उत्तेजित करता है और उन्हें सिखा...
Now, for those of you who are wondering, how have I created an audio overview in Hindi? Let me quickly show you. Whatever content you create, whether it's audio overview, video overview, flashcards, or quiz, infographic, or slide deck. If you want to change the language, just click on the pencil icon and choose the language that you want to create the content in. You can also choose the orientation for your infographic. It can be landscape, portrait, square. When you are choosing audio overview, video overview, you choose the length. Okay, how much length do you want? Do you want a shorter audio overview, medium, or big? Right, whatever you want. And if you want to focus on a specific topic, you can give that detail in the chat window here. Once you've chosen all the parameters, hit on generate and it will create the content for you. Right, so just click on pencil icon, choose your language, choose your length, give any additional prompt that you want to give it, any specific instructions that I want you to focus on this particular topic, and hit generate. So you can generate more than one audio overviews or video overviews on different topics that you want to, right? Similarly for infographics and slide decks. So anything that you want to create, it will create it for you in a matter of few minutes. So that's the power of Notebook LM that we are talking about. Okay, so that's your personalized LM, personalized AI assistant, which uses grounded research. You can upload sources. Remember, for free Notebook LM plan, it's up to 50 sources per notebook, 500k words per source. With chat, with your sources, you can create audio overviews, briefings, doc, summaries, whatever you like, right? And that's the power of Gemini and Notebook LM that we wanted to bring to you today. I hope you enjoyed the session and I hope you loved what we showed you in the session today. And I'm very hopeful that you will take it back to your classrooms and play with it. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on taking the first step to elevate your literacy, AI literacy with Gemini. I think somebody from the team will share the feedback form with you, because I can't see the QR code here, but definitely somebody will share that with you. Yes. And if there are any questions, please feel free to put that in the chat window. I'm here for another 5 minutes and I'll be happy to answer those questions. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the session. Thank you so much. So much appreciation is flowing into the chat window. Can we get PPT and recording? That's for the team to decide. I don't have any control on that. Great. Okay. Can we please share the feedback form?
Yes, thank you so much for the informative session, ma'am. We have already shared the feedback form link with every participant on their registered email ID.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the feedback form has been sent to you on your email IDs. Please make sure that you fill that up. Once you fill that up, only then will you be able to get the certificate, right? So that's thank you for from our side. Any questions, I'm happy to answer those questions. And thank you for the support team at the bank, bringing this webinar to you. Google for Education as well as STAR team. Thank you so much for arranging this for all of us.
Thank you so much, Gurpreet ma'am.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any other doubts? We can spend a minute more. Interaction is good. Thank you. Suneet sir is saying not yet received feedback form. Can somebody from the STAR team please take care? He's put his Gmail ID also there.
Definitely.
Can I share my gem with my students? Yes, Saravana sir. You can create these gems and share it with them. You can also create gems from within your Google Classroom. Okay, so if you are using your Google for Education account, the Gemini interaction comes within the Google Classroom. You can create the gems there only and share it with your students. Great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I really enjoyed bringing it to you. I hope you learned a lot and I hope you enjoy taking it back to your students. Thank you so much. Have a great evening ahead. Bye-bye all.
Speaking